Okay, the Buddha said that there are two ways in which the Dharma can end. One is in which what he calls counterfeit Dharma becomes available. And in the case like that, the true Dharma is still available, but because there's counterfeit, then you don't know which is true and which is false. But we live in the era now where there's lots of counterfeit. There are many different versions of the Dharma available. So it's hard to tell which is true and which is false. And the only way you can deal with that is to test it in your practice. You start out, say, which one seems to require the most honesty, which Dharma seems to require the most integrity if you put it into practice. In other words, look for a Dharma that demands something of you, demands good qualities of you, and then try to put that into practice, see what kind of results you get. If you're not satisfied with the results, you might try another Dharma, a Dharma that seems to have some integrity. You develop your integrity until you find a Dharma that works. Well, we have reached a point, as I said, is where there are many different types of Dharma available, and you have to use your own integrity in determining which one seems to give the best results in your own practice.
And there are only a few countries, who practice the Theravada tradition, and one of the most dominant is Thailand. Yeah, I'm in Sri Lanka, yes, as well. Yeah, there's Myanmar, yeah, and Laos, and parts of Cambodia, yeah, Cambodia. These are the Theravada countries. And what means Theravada? I mean the teaching of the elders. So it is the teaching of the Lord Buddha. Yeah? And here, especially here in Thailand, we go strictly by the book of the Lord Buddha. We practice according to the teaching of the Lord Buddha and don't change into any kind of Mahayana or whatever it is, yeah, tradition. Yeah? We practice by the Lord Buddha, by the teaching of the Lord Buddha, because we know, he taught it, and he knew the way that leads to enlightenment, yeah? Or leads to the end of dukkha, or leads to the end of samsara. Yeah? And that's what we follow strictly. Yeah? And people, just pick out, especially in the West, they pick out this and they pick out that, they read this and they read that, or they hear this and then what is Songsai? Then they assume this and they assume that. Yeah? If you listen, to the teaching of the Lord Buddha, what does he teach? The first